Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my Sunday General Conference this morning. While I was working out at the gym, I was listening to the April 1932 General Conference, and Heber J was the concluding speaker. And he just illustrates one of the reasons that I've grown to love Heber J. because of his humor. And so he stands up and he's like, the only person who's not had an opportunity to speak so far is Elder Hart. I don't think I'm going to give him time to speak. It's the first time I've never gotten to everybody so far in my presidency. But it's my birthday, and I kind of just want to talk. And so he starts to give his talk, and then halfway through his talk, he goes, I probably should do the sustaining of the general authorities. And so he sustains the general authorities, and then he goes right back into his talk, and he stops and goes, I should give Elder Hart a chance to speak, but I'm not going to. And then he finishes up general conference. And I just thought it was so funny, especially because, while I was listening to this, I had a kind of a brain fart. I'm like, it's his birthday. Well, today's my birthday, so maybe we share a birthday. That's not how it works, but my brain just wasn't firing on all cylinders. And I looked it up. His birthday was in November. So in the April General Conference, the prophet gets up. He's like, Elder so-and-so, you haven't had a chance to speak yet. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this General Conference. And it's my birthday, so I can do it. When in reality, his birthday was 7 months away. I just thought it was so funny. And I think that sometimes we don't get to see the side of the apostles and prophets. We see them in a very stoic light sometimes. They are men, but they hold keys. And that is a sacred responsibility and a sacred trust. And we honor and venerate them for that. But at the end of the day, they also have a humorous side that I think is hilarious. And I've had some glimpses of that. And I've been shared glimpses of that. One firsthand experience that I had was with Elder Christofferson. I was at the temple, and Elder Christofferson was there. And I saw him, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is Elder Christofferson. And he goes, hey, do you want to do one of my temple names? I'm like, I will go and I will do. And so I'm doing one of his temple names, or one of his family names at the temple. And I noticed that he actually was there waiting because his whole family was coming through, and he was giving them all the names. And he just gave me one as well, which was really cool. But Elder Christofferson, as they moved from room to room, all of a sudden, he was supposed to sit on a metal chair because it was kind of an overflow seating in the Salt Lake Temple at the time. And the temple workers had this look like, what are we going to do? We can't ask Elder Christofferson to sit on the metal chair as we move to this room. And he looks at them, looks at the chair, and he just runs to the chair and sits down in it. And they're like, oh, okay, he's going to take it. But then when the prayer circle happened, he goes up with his family and he looks at one of his brothers, and I swear he winked his eye, because all of a sudden they start a very reverent but a very much foot race back to the chairs, and he sits down in the comfortable chair, and his brother ends up taking his Elder Christofferson's old chair, the metal chair. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And I think sometimes we don't get to see that, but it's true and it's there.